Jonathan Patino, and for my topic, I chose gun control laws. I chose this topic because it is very controversial in the United States. Gun control laws in the United States have been around not only because they are part of the amendments, but sadly because all the shootings and massacres that have been sparked around this. Opinions on this issue are very varied. I ask you, are you for or against the modification in gun control laws? I will tell you about some important points about this topic, taking into account the law, history, or current context, and some important statistics. The result of analysis and research carried out by experts in the field. There are strong and passionate points both for and against gun ownership, but I believe that in order to issue an informed opinion, it is important to understand the law and history. What does the Constitution tell us about the guns in the United States? A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Through the CNN news website, editor Willingham shares that those 27 short words have been the source of a continuous debate, seen by someone as a protection against tyranny and by others as a very dangerous anarchism. This law, currently in force, is very popular among gun lovers and has its origin in a historical context very different from the current one. In the 18th century, each state was independent in terms of militia. They had a kind of army composed by civilians. They served as soldiers in order to protect themselves from external threats or internal situations. The citizens had to acquire their own equipment such as weapons, ammunition, and horses in order to join the militia. The first version of the U.S. Constitution provided for the creation of an army of professional soldiers. They are under the control and administration of the federal government, with the aim of defending the Union from external and internal threats. When the Constitution was sent to the states for revision in 1787, the existence of militias came into question. Many leaders, fearful of bad experience related to British colonial forces, were wary of the centralization of power, and they considered that the state militias should remain, and that is where the Second Amendment under the Constitution was drafted, to ensure that each state had its own militia made of citizens. But that reason is obsolete since our context is different. This first point I've addressed, history, is key to being able to make a decision regarding gun control laws. Now, it is acknowledged that there are quite divided opinions on whether or not to implement greater control over access to firearms by civilian population. Those who support the measure argue that it is necessary to carry out background examinations with the aim of preventing access to firearms to anyone such as people with criminal record and psychological or psychiatric problems. This will significantly reduce gun violence. Charles Field is member of the Department of Health Policy and Management at the University of Texas through the American Public Health Association, mentioned that the fight for gun safety involves a political war between a large industry represented by multiple organizations with considerable economic resources and some popular support. This powerful industry, whose products often place the health of the population at risk, places less powerful fragmented resistance movement composed for activist groups with limited funds and different levels of public support. As much the population remains politically unable to participate politicals in such a struggle, the National Rifle Association claims to protect the rights of the average American gun owner. However, this association carries measures far beyond protecting the rights of gun owners when faced with the possibility legislation that improves gun safety. Pomeranz, when surviving and conducting a legal analysis, shared with us his interpretation of the results. The presence of states' gun laws varies between states. The number of gun control, guns rights, prevent measures remain unchanged in most states from 2009 to 2018. As of 2018, most states has prevent measures on almost all gun control policy issues without enacting system gun control measures. Several states had a combination of gun control and preventing measures. Only a small number of states had gun control measures with a few preventive measures. United States has the highest rate of gun death among the world's wealthy nations. More than 20,900 people have died from gun violence in the U.S. this year, including from homicide and suicide, according to Gun Violence Archive, a not-profit research group. Although polls indicates that the majority of Americans support gun control efforts, many Republican senators, presidents, that a majority of the population in states with large pro-gun communities, there are estimated 393 million firearms currently in the United States have been sold. BBC News had a research where the Congress passed a gun control that most important gun legislation in early 30 states. It imposes restricted gun controls on young shoppers and encourages states to remove guns from people that present a threat or have red flags. And thank you for watching.